What's cracking, everybody? 1:15 a.m. It's go time. All right, so new video. Um, I had said in the last one um, that I might talk about what occurred during my managerial duties. Somebody laughed that I said that. Hey, I'm the manager. I got duties. But before we get into the story, I'm gonna tell a quick story about something that happened in prison that relates to this, right? This is when I first went to prison, and there was a vato in the yard. He was in my building, right? He was a catracho, and so he was like always by himself, right? Like every day at yard recall, I would see him, and he would be mad dogging. And it was like one of them things where he was mad dogging, looking for the one that was gonna make eye contact with him, right? If this is a normal dude, obviously you're gonna look at him like, "What's up? What's the problem here?" But the thing was, he had the crazy eyes. You could look at the dude and know there's nothing there, you know. And so we should just ignore him, you know. Like, it's one of them things where keep your eye on him. Becomes too close, do what you gotta do, but otherwise leave him alone. He's just a fucking nut, right? But you always gotta recognize the crazy eyes. So one day, you know, he's doing his regular scanning the yard, trying to make eye contact thing, you know, right in front of the building. And this big black dude asked him, "Hey, what are you looking at? You keep looking at me. What are you looking at?" And the catracho didn't say nothing. He just kept staring at him. And I think the other blacks probably told that black dude, like, "Hey, I don't think he's all there. You know, leave it alone." And back then we used to still get day room, right? That night. And so when you come out of your cell, there would be a CO or two COs in the day room, and you come down the stairs and they pat you down, right? Once you get patted down, go to your tables, you know, do your thing. And the catracho was in C-section, so was the black dude that asked him, "Hey, what are you looking at?" So when they released day room, everybody's going. The black dude went, and the catracho came down, and right when he was gonna get patted down by the CO, he stepped around him, pulled out a toothbrush. Oh, shit, you don't even see that. That's like, he must have saw that in a fucking movie somewhere, right? But he pulled out a toothbrush, a tomahawk, but it wasn't a little tomahawk. It was a big-ass, full-size toothbrush full of razor blades, and he ripped the black dude open, right? And the moral of that short story is, recognize crazy eyes. It'll help you out, right? Now, back to my managerial duties. We're in the process of remodeling. The owner of this property is in the process of remodeling, right? They basically want to upgrade the facade of the building. And so they're going to be taking out a lot of stuff and replacing stuff and redoing the balconies, putting in new energy saving windows on the balconies and windows, whatever, right? Well, I was out one day and I had to pass out notices, right? And I've got some neighbors that were, for whatever reason, very concerned, right? about this whole thing. And you know, engaging with people on the streets is still a challenge at times. When, you know, in prison, you say something and that's what it is, and their response, that's what it is, and then you go from there. But out here, there isn't that sense of seriousness when conversing with someone. And so, unfortunately, I was caught in a conversation where I had 3 of my tenants talking to me about their concerns, but there was really one, and it's actually my neighbor right here who could probably hear me, but it is what it is. And my neighbor said the same thing 100 different ways. And again, me not being used to this whole let's run in a circle for an hour because I got that hour to waste, and I don't care if you do. That's what it kind of started feeling like, right? Because I don't have that hour to waste. So, you know, I had to just tell my neighbor, like, look, I'm not trying to be a dick, but you're saying the same thing 100 different ways, man, and I don't have time for it. I'm not the owner. I'm the manager. I live here with you. I'm going to go through it with you. And my manager said, it doesn't bother you? I mean, not my manager, my neighbor says, it doesn't bother you? And that neighbor happens to know a little bit about my history. And I was like, how could it? Like, it means nothing. They're gonna make the place nicer. There's gonna be a little bit of noise, a little bit of inconvenience. But at the end of the day, it's nothing. You're still healthy. You still have a roof over your head. Like, people forget the bigger picture. Now, during this time, the contractors are with me. They ain't dumb, because I was walking around the property with one of them, and so my neighbors actually hemmed up the other contractors. And then here I come. And so when I came, I was the one that had to go back and forth. And these contractors, having experience in these types of issues, probably slowly started easing away from me and got on the corner of the property and stood there and watched from a distance, right? And like I said, we're going in circles, but prison habits, you just don't break them. As I'm talking to them, I'm still always aware of my surroundings. Situational awareness is a top priority, right? And I see somebody out of the corner of my eye walk by, right? So I glance to see who is that, and big white boy, beanie on, walking by. So I just glance, I look, I say, okay, boom, I go back. As I'm talking, I notice that dude, instead of staying on the sidewalk and heading to wherever he was heading, he went into the street and was by a car and was just staring at me, right? And so my first thought was, I'm gonna slingshot. Surprisingly, right? And I'm having this conversation with these 3 white people. And so it could be looked at as, why is this hoodlum talking with these people, right? So I didn't pay it no mind, you know. But I noticed he stayed. And so finally I was like, look, I don't have time for this and that. And I went towards the contractors. And as I went towards the contractors, the white dude was just on the other side of the contractors at the corner of a van, and he was just staring at me. And that's when I saw him. The crazy eyes. As soon as I saw the crazy eyes, I said, oh, this is something else. So now we need some further assessment of the situation, right? Let's get this threat level figured out. So I looked at him, I said, hey, can I help you with something? chinga. He said, yeah, you can fucking help me with something, motherfucker. I've been calling the op. I was like, what? He went on what? Right? And so I'm looking at him. He's not making any movements towards me. But this is a whole new thing, right? But I have all these contractors here. I have neighbors out. I live in a nice white neighborhood. See all this? I'm on parole for life. Hopefully I get a review in a couple years. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, this son of a bitch is really not just cussing at me, but scream cussing, right? So I said, hey, you think you're gonna get anything fucking accomplished talking to me like that? The motherfucker went bonkers. Then I recognized, about 6 months ago, this guy lives in the apartments next to us. And he was saying that one of our security lights flashes into his bedroom and he can't sleep at night, right? And at the time I explained to him, I said, we have a lot of single females that live on this property that I manage. And we want to make sure that all of our tenants are safe, and so that light is not going to go away. He lives on a different property, and that he needed to speak with his landlord and see if there was something that they could do to the outside of his unit to block some of that light. But that has nothing to do with us. His concerns, his building. Our building, we are concerned about our tenants, and so that's where it stayed. But now I recognize that's him, right? And so he's talking and talking. So the main contractor is right next to me. So he pulls his phone out, boom, starts recording. And I was like, cool. If I have to knock this motherfucker's mouth off his whole head, at least if he comes towards me, it's legal now, right? But I couldn't help myself, guys. The guy was talking and talking, and I was like, what the fuck are you gonna do, man? You gonna sit here and yell like an idiot because you ain't gonna get shit done with me? Not like that. And I might have made an aggressive face. I don't know. I'm not used to people, for one, cussing at me, but secondly, yelling and cussing and making a big old scene. That's not protocol. You know what I'm saying? That's not the business. You know, I don't disrespect nobody. And so I finally just told him, you know what? Get the fuck out of here right now, because I'm tired of talking to you and I'm tired of hearing you. And so he's running his mouth, but he's exiting. He's moving on. And then I let him know, because he wouldn't shut the fuck up, right? I said, hey, and by the way, as soon as I'm done with these contractors, I'm going to go ahead and go inside, and I'm going to turn that fucking light on even brighter for you. How about that? I don't think I handled the situation well. Matter of fact, I did. I engaged. We engaged in some verbal gymnastics, and at the end, I got to make a joke. But if I could turn the light on brighter, it would be a spotlight in there. He would be making hand puppets. That would be his mother. He wouldn't even need a TV. But I wanted to tell that story. It turned out to be a whole lot longer video than it needed to be. But I wanted to tell you the story about crazy eyes. Always be prepared for the crazy eye. When you see crazy eyes, be ready. Crazy eyes lost. The first story, crazy eyes won. Second story, crazy eyes lost. I'm worried about getting my key card. My car key. Can't even talk right. I'm nervous now. All right, so with that, I'm out, man. This is too long. Oh, before I go, I can't remember if I said it in one of my last videos, but I know most of you probably won't even make it this far in the video. For those that do, I really appreciate you. I want you guys to know, I had complained in the past that YouTube was fucking me over. They still are. Part 2 to I'm Done with California, they completely demonetized it. But my last, I want to say 7 or 8 videos, my CPM, what I'm getting per 1,000 views, has risen. I personally do not want to give credit to YouTube. I don't believe it's them. I believe it's you guys. And what you guys have been doing is you guys have been commenting, and you guys, by commenting, you guys are helping the channel. And there's been a lot of thumbs up, which is cool. Those of you that don't want to write something, if you want to just put a thumbs up in the comment, that'll help me out too. But you guys have put me into the algorithm, and I believe that's what's starting to help the channel out. And I want to let you guys know that I'm really appreciative of that, and I thank you. And I am trying to put out more stuff, man. You know, I just feel those of you that listen to the podcast, you know, I just went through losing a friend. I went to the wake yesterday, the funeral, and it was hard on me, man. You know, it was hard seeing the homie in this casket and knowing that ain't him. He was there, but he's moved on, you know. And it was sad seeing his family crying, the kids, the babies asking if he was Mimi's, you know. But anyways, I don't want to change the whole flow of this video, man. Just want you guys to know I appreciate you, and I am trying to be more involved in the channel and trying to put out more content, and I am gonna try to do more with the podcast. So with that, this video is too long. I'm out, man. You guys take care.